Hello, I'm Natalie MacDonald and you're watching Dukascopy TV. UK manufacturing output for September has increased 0.1% from August, according to data released today. Joining me on the phone now is Chris Williamson, Chief Economist at Markit in London. Chris, thank you very much for speaking with me. Now, the UK manufacturing data released today did not meet economists' forecasts. Given that the 3 months through to September have seen the best growth levels in the UK since 2007, what did analysts not factor into these expectations?
Well, I think in a lot of cases, analysts were hoping to get a bigger rebound from the fall we'd seen in August. Clearly, that's not happened, and it seems that the surveys are proving correct in that the manufacturing sector is actually losing momentum, perhaps faster than a lot of people were anticipating as we move into the autumn.
It's thought that this data was held back by declines in machinery and chemical production. Why these industries specifically? What's the picture that we're receiving here?
Well, it's always a bit too dangerous to read too much into 1 month's data, especially at this granular sector level. But it's interesting that these two sectors in particular are singled out, because certainly what we've seen from manufacturing companies in recent months is that there is an increasing trend towards cutting back on business investment and also trying to reduce their stock levels to keep their costs down as much as possible. Now, these are two sectors which are very vulnerable to a drop in investment and destocking. Obviously, machinery being cut back as part of investment cuts, and chemicals often form an important part of a company's inventory. So it looks like these are signs of companies moving into that cost-cutting phase, which we've seen increasing evidence of. So this just backs up the suggestion that conditions are worsening.
Despite this, a survey conducted by government-backed Manufacturing Advisory Service has suggested that UK manufacturing is not yet dead, with more than half of the UK's small and medium manufacturers planning to expand their businesses in the next 6 months. Where does this optimism come from?
It's difficult to see, really, because there's other surveys which are signalling a worsening situation. I think in a lot of cases, small companies are trying to find new avenues of growth. They're seeking opportunities very aggressively in emerging markets and so forth, trying to expand. So, and this tends to be the sector which does lead the economy out of a downturn. So there's hope there that companies haven't lost all faith and that there is some light shining in some distance, especially in those emerging markets. But I think the overall trend it isn't reflective of this sort of attitude, and that instead companies are retrenching somewhat.
The pound had appreciated to its strongest level in 5 weeks ahead of this data. Should we expect a freefall in these gains now, particularly given that separate reports released today also showed a drop in UK retail sales and housing prices?
No, I don't think so. I mean, obviously much depends upon what the Bank of England do, obviously meeting this week. Very few economists are expecting any extension of the bank's quantitative easing programme. So, if the bank keeps on hold, then that should be supportive of sterling. Don't forget also that sterling is still around 20% weaker than it was before the crisis against a basket of currencies. So it shouldn't really fall much further in many respects, given how low it is. But the one positive aspect of that is that it should be supportive of UK exports. So while I don't expect sterling to fall particularly, I expect it to be supportive in some respects to UK trade going forward. So some support to the economy.
Chris, thanks very much. We look forward to speaking to you again soon. Derek McDermott will be back shortly with a look at the all-important US elections, so don't go away.